Morning everyone, today I want to take you around with me to show you why log footage is the best footage you can shoot on. So here I am in Hampstead Heath, and I wanted to bring you down and tell you why I always shoot in log footage. So log footage is where all the colors and the saturation has kind of been stripped back out of your image, or the highs and the lows have been kind of compressed together. I'll even put up the curve of S-Log3 on the Sony a7 IV, which is what I'm shooting in at the moment. The reason why I or anyone would shoot in log footage is because it captures the most dynamic range. So that's like the brightest part of the image, and right now the sun like straight on my face. I should turn the camera around and shoot straight into it. But what will happen is it will capture as much information from my face and the brightest part of the image, the sun, and it will keep all that information. Whereas when you shoot something like picture profile off, which is the standard picture profile where everything is put in, then there's a high chance that either the sun will be blown out or I will be too dark. So there's not as much to mess around with, and there's not as much for the camera to kind of capture in terms of the information. Pretty much all the professional cameras that you shoot on nowadays will have log footage kind of inbuilt inside their system. Even my drone, the DJI Air 3, has kind of DJI log, which I always shoot in, and I love to capture the content in because once again it captures the most information. And I hear a lot of people say that they don't want to shoot in log because it takes too much time to color grade after, or they're a bit worried that if once they've captured the image, then it's going to be hard for them to kind of put the color back in the image after. And I do kind of understand that. My first camera was a Blackmagic pocket cinema camera, so it's pretty old now, and I loved the footage that came from that camera, but I only shoot it in log. It didn't have really any other options, so I was forced to learn how to color grade. And actually I had that camera when I first got a job, so I was almost really forced to learn how to capture the content really quick, because I was kind of like on paid time to do so. So I get that the learning curve or shooting on log can be kind of scary, but actually if you stick around on the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to color grade it really easily, really quickly, and there's actually not really much to worry about in terms of turning your kind of log footage into a standard Rec 709 picture profile. And as for exposing log, I would say a lot of that can come down to practice. I actually nowadays kind of don't really trust metering a lot. I know that people can do things like look at zebras, and I'll give you a way to do that in a second. I remember when I first got the a7 IV, a lot of people were saying to overexpose it by 1.7, but I wouldn't really trust that either. I wouldn't trust really a lot of the metering of the camera. Once you kind of got experience, then the camera can kind of be exposing to things you don't really want. One of the best ways to expose in the beginning is actually just to use zebras. So I have mine set to 65 and then +1, and I always expose my skin tone to that. I always try to, but like a lot of the time, as I said, I kind of like just wing it and see kind of what looks good, especially if you're just shooting an event and you're really just running and gunning. It's kind of hard sometimes to always keep adjusting these things. But if you're really worried about exposing correctly, then to be honest, log is actually the best way to go, because it captures so much information in the highs and the lows. If one section of them is a bit blown out or your shadows are a bit too dark, then you can actually just boost it up a tiny bit and it captures the most information. Whereas if you've got like picture profile off, or you're shooting on a different picture profile, then when you mess up, you're kind of like stuck. You can't really do much to save those lows or save those highs. And the other step that people worry about is color grading. And as I said, I know that can be a challenge in itself as well, but I wouldn't really worry about trying to make your footage look too kind of cinematic in the beginning. The first thing you kind of want to do is just get your footage from log to a Rec 709. And the way I would kind of convert the log to Rec 709 is you basically just go on the manufacturer's website. Like for me, it would be Sony, find your model of camera, which for me would be the a7 IV, and then look for the log to Rec 709 converter, which should be free. The most you'll have to do is probably just create an account, and you get that lot, drop it into your editing program, and you should be good to go. And that's basically it. The first step is then over, just getting your footage to Rec 709. And that is why I shoot on log in every kind of camera I have. Even the GoPro has a flat option. It might not be as flat as kind of log, but it's still pretty flat, and you can, like I said, have the flexibility to color grade it afterwards. So I'd really go down that route if you can. It adds way more creativity into your videos. You can always tell a video that is really well color graded afterwards compared to if they just shot it straight out of the camera and it's on like a picture profile off or something like that. So that's it from me. So thanks a lot. Please subscribe, please like, and I'll see you on the next video.